Hell. The word alone stirs up fear, awe, and endless debate. It's painted as a fiery pit of eternal torment, a realm where the wicked suffer forever. But what if I told you that the most common beliefs about hell are based more on tradition than on scripture? That the fiery imagery often associated with hell might not even be biblical? For centuries, Christians have been taught a version of hell that evokes terror and control. But what does the Bible actually say? And how did we end up with the modern idea of hell as a fiery underworld of endless suffering? Today, we're peeling back centuries of teachings to uncover truths about hell that even devout Christians may not know. Prepare to have your perspective challenged as we dive deep into what ancient scripture and history truly reveal about this mysterious and controversial place. Stay tuned until the end, because the truth might just shake the foundation of everything you thought you knew. Everything you've been told about hell, fiery pits, eternal suffering, demons with pitchforks, might be a complete lie. What if the fear of hell was built more on medieval fiction than on biblical truth? What if centuries of tradition have misled millions about what really happens after we die? Get ready, because the truth about hell is more shocking and liberating than you could imagine.
Hey, just a second. For the love of Jesus, please subscribe the channel. Thank you.
Part 1. The origins of hell in Scripture. Did you know the word hell doesn't appear in the original Hebrew Bible? Instead, the ancient texts speak of Sheol, a shadowy place where all the dead go, not just the wicked. In the New Testament, Hades borrowed imagery from Greek mythology, and Gehenna was a literal garbage dump outside Jerusalem. It's even debated whether Jesus used these terms symbolically or literally. So where did the idea of eternal fire and torment come from? The Bible hints at judgment and consequences, but the details of modern hell might have been shaped more by human imagination than divine revelation. Part 2. The influence of culture and literature. Many of our fears about hell can be traced back to one book, Dante's Inferno. Written in the 14th century, it describes hell as a place of horrifying punishments for every kind of sinner. A vivid but fictional journey through the 9 circles of hell. But here's the twist. Dante's vision wasn't based on the Bible. It was a work of poetry, blending Christian doctrine with his personal imagination. Yet for centuries, it has shaped how millions of people view hell. Part 3. What did Jesus really say about hell? When it comes to hell, Jesus is often quoted more than anyone else. But here's the surprising truth. Many of his words are deeply misunderstood. Take the term Gehenna, which Jesus frequently used. In his time, Gehenna was a physical place, a valley near Jerusalem where trash and sometimes bodies were burned. To his audience, it symbolized destruction and judgment, not necessarily eternal torment. Consider his parables, like the story of the rich man and Lazarus. Was this a literal account of life after death, or a powerful moral lesson about how we treat others? Scholars argue it's more about justice and responsibility in this life than fiery punishment in the next. What's most intriguing is that Jesus focused less on eternal suffering and more on the choices we make now, how our actions echo into eternity. Could it be that his teachings on hell are more about living a meaningful life than fearing a fiery end? For centuries, interpretations of Jesus' words have created fear, but what if they were meant to inspire hope and transformation instead? Part 4. What does this mean for us today? If the traditional view of hell is rooted more in human interpretation than divine revelation, what does that mean for us as Christians today? It challenges us to rethink how we approach our faith. Hell has often been wielded as a weapon, used to control behavior, spread fear, and enforce obedience. But is that really what God intended? Imagine if hell isn't a place of eternal torture, but a separation from God's love. A consequence of living without compassion, grace, or faith. How does that change the way we view salvation, forgiveness, or even our daily choices? For centuries, the fear of hell has driven many to faith. But what if that fear has been misplaced? What if true faith isn't about avoiding punishment, but about seeking God's love and living with purpose? This understanding doesn't erase accountability, it deepens it. It shifts the focus from fear to love, from punishment to redemption. And that might just be the most transformative truth of all.
Hey, just a second. For the love of Jesus, please subscribe the channel. Thank you.
Conclusion. The concept of hell has shaped faith, culture, and countless lives for centuries. But as we've uncovered, the truth about hell is far more complex than the fiery pits often imagined. Hell isn't just about judgment. It's about choices, consequences, and the eternal impact of how we live today. It's not about fear. It's about understanding the depth of God's grace and the weight of our actions. This revelation isn't just about theology. It's about freedom. Freedom from fear, freedom to explore faith with an open heart, and freedom to live with purpose and love. So, what do you believe? Is hell a place, a metaphor, or something entirely different? One thing is certain: understanding hell differently can change how we see faith and how we live every single day. Has this changed how you see hell? Join the conversation. Like, share, and comment below with your thoughts. And don't forget to subscribe for more eye-opening truths.